Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha, and we are the Pattern Queens. And welcome to Stitch With Us, episode 42. Today is November the 26th. It's a Sunday, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and silliness and lots of rambles and shenanigans. And sometimes having the perfect intro and realizing you aren't recording.
And then just flubbing it afterwards. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. Usually we do just a normal floss tube, but every once in a while we throw in a stitch with us. But if you've been here before, you know that. So, Laura, what are you working on today?
I am working on Autumn Alphabet by the Cricket Collection. I'm trying to get in as close as I can in frame. And I am going to work on the border today. It's really cute, and it has this little acorn pattern, which I think if I did, I would probably leave off that spider.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit Halloween with the spider, right?
Yeah. So,
I Oh, show us where you're at on it. I guess we didn't
oh,
show that.
so it's in the hoop. So I've done the whole
Mhm.
bottom, the bottom alphabet. This is my number row, which shows up really well in person. I'm in the middle of this, but I thought for the purposes of the Stitch With Us, I would just continue the border up.
Yeah, perfect. And then I'm working on Peppermint Bark from Dirty Annie's. I've seen this one before. This is on a piece of 32 count limited edition linen from Color and Cotton. And here's where I am. So I'm going to be working on the dog today.
Awesome. There are others in that series too, aren't there?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. I know that Plum Street has a lot of Dotsons that she's done,
I was
but I
thinking that maybe there were, maybe that at least she came out with a new one this year. That could just be
oh
my brain, though.
yeah, could be. I have to look for them. I have a couple of the Plum Street Dotson ones because my mom currently has a Dotson. She used to have two, and she really, really likes them. So every time I work on a pattern with a Dotson, I think of my mom.
Do you have any of those started?
No, I haven't. I own two of them. I need to start them though. That'd probably be good. But I
Okay,
feel
but
like oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like I've started so many things that I want to get give to my mom and I haven't finished them that I should probably finish some things up first.
Um, I was gonna say maybe you should make it a New Year new start.
Oh yeah. See, I'd have to decide. The two that I have is I have Starbarks, which Plum Street released at Market this year, which is really cute. Obviously, it's like a coffee themed, Starbucks themed Dotson pattern. And then the other one I have that I love saying the name one of is Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
Hmm.
And that one's just fun because it's dogs in bikinis. Who could hate that?
That's a
So
fun series.
yeah, and I know that there's one for every season, and um, so yeah, I really need to stitch those. Wonder if my mom would like a series of dots and patterns on her wall. Maybe I should ask before I commit to doing that.
Well, it would make an awfully cute tote bag, though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe I can do a couple different things for my mom. She does have a couple of like dots and like painting prints that she has up in her house, and I've already stitched her one. I found a pattern on Etsy and I can't remember the name of the designer. This was probably 10 years ago whenever I did it. So pretty long time ago, I found this Dotson pattern and it just had a little Dotson on it. And it said, life is short and so are my legs. And she has that in her bedroom. But it was a little red Dotson and the ones that she's had have been black and tan. So I changed the colors on it to match her dog. So this past Thursday was Thanksgiving in the US. How was your holiday? What have you been up to? Got some time
Well,
off work too.
it was the quiet day of the weekend for me.
Hmm.
We Katie made dinner. She's the one who has been doing all the cooking. We made a deal since Jeff's been in the hospital that if I would take Bree to work, she would do dinner, which
Nice.
I think is a fabulous deal.
Of course. I
And
do.
she really had a lot of fun planning the menu. And, we checked in with her and gave opinions and votes. And um, it was fun. I sat in
Mhm.
here and stitched and watched football. I'm working on a secret project that Katie would like me to have done. So I got a lot done on that. I'm sitting here trying to decide if I really stitched with just one strand or if
Oh,
I was stitching with two. It's kind of hard to tell. But when I see an end, I'm only finding one end.
hmm.
Um, and then Thursday evening we went up and took Jeff. So Bree worked. I took her to work in the morning on Thanksgiving and then went and picked her up. Katie finished up dinner as Bree was getting home, and we ate and then went up and saw Jeff and spent part of the evening with him, which was fun. And then we came home and ate our fabulous dessert.
Oh yeah, how was the dessert?
It was fabulous. We had a pecan pie pumpkin cheesecake. So it was this big layered thing, and it had a layer of vanilla wafers for the crust,
Mhm.
and then pecan pie, and then I'm trying to think if I get it all in the right order. Then a layer of pumpkin cheesecake and sweet sour cream, dulce de leche, and candied pecans on top.
Oh wow,
I
that
feel
sounds
like maybe
great.
I missed something in there, but it is decadent.
That sounds so good.
Okay. I don't want to keep going if it's not,
Right.
because I think I could add it in and just slip in
Mm-hmm.
the extra stitch on.
Usually if I'm trying to figure it out, I'll kind of look at my stitches at the front and see if like the top leg, if I can see if there's two.
Yeah, I was trying to do that. I just wasn't. It's an overdyed floss,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a thread gatherer, and they're so thick
It's hard to tell.
that I'm wondering if it's the strands separating rather
Oh,
than
gotcha.
having two strands. No, I think that's two separate strands. Okay. So I'm just going to get the other one on here. It's okay. I had it on here, you guys, and I cut it off
She
because
did. She was
it's
trying to figure this out before we started too.
a little frustrating. That's okay.
For my Thanksgiving, we went to my in-laws, which is always a nice time. We always like being there. And oh, the food, I mean, it was just the traditional turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole. But I had been looking so forward to um mashed potatoes. I was so excited. So I told him, buddy, you're definitely going to have some mashed potatoes whenever we get there. So he was already excited. He was excited about the trip in general, but he's excited for mashed potatoes. So it was very sweet. My oldest niece made little nameplates for everybody and put
Oh,
them on the table and drew a little picture on each one. So we had assigned seating. And so, but James has his own little seat anyway. He's the littlest, so he gets the booster seat to sit up at the table because he still kind of needs that a little bit. And so he knew exactly what his seat was, but he knows how to find his name too. So he was very excited to see his name. And we sit down and everything is being brought into the table. And my mother-in-law places this gigantic bowl of mashed potatoes on our side of the table. And James looks at them and puts his hand on my arm and he goes, Mom, mashed potatoes. I was like, I told you you're mashed potatoes, bud. So his plate was piled high with mashed potatoes, and he had a couple little bites of a few other things, but he mostly ate mashed potatoes. And then whenever we were eating leftovers throughout the weekend, he would want to just eat a big old pile of mashed potatoes. I can't remember how many potatoes my mother-in-law said she made, how many pounds, but I'm sure that James ate about half of what was made. And I probably ate a quarter of what was made. So I did warn her that probably in a couple of years, whenever, well, actually, probably next Thanksgiving, the baby will be able to eat soft foods. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to add like 5 extra pounds of potatoes for you guys." So it was really good. And I ate a ton of pumpkin pie. There are a bunch of other desserts, but I knew that we'd be bringing some desserts home with us, so I just went for pumpkin pie or pecan pie, not pumpkin pie.
Oh, pecan pie is about my favorite, but this layered thing is so good.
Yeah.
If we were at the office together today, I maybe would have brought you some.
Oh man.
But it would not have been a fun drive today because we got snow.
A lot of snow. I wasn't expecting that. Um, I feel like I didn't even know it was supposed to snow until Friday when my mother-in-law said something about us driving home in snow yesterday. And then I looked at the forecast and I was like, oh man, I didn't even know. So it made for an interesting drive yesterday.
Was it heavier in Iowa?
I think they got more in Iowa than we did. It was definitely, it started falling sooner, I think. Um, because once we kind of hit the Missouri line and got into Missouri a little bit, uh, it was snowing, but there wasn't the accumulation that we had seen as we were driving in. The bad part was is we kind of left as it was starting, and I don't think the roads had really been treated uh, where we were driving. Luckily, it was all interstate and people were coming back, so it was pretty well traveled. But there were a couple places that were slick, and we just had to, take it easy going home. But then once we got home, there was some snow in our yard, and James was very excited because he's decided that if there's snow on the ground, it's Christmas. He told me this morning that it's Christmas. It's like, well, not quite, but okay.
Speaking of, we have to get a package to your house for the boy.
Oh, yes, you do. So, um, the first is on Friday. So close. And we'll be um, posting our daily unboxings. I will be unboxing a Be Nice List box. And James will be opening an advent calendar of his own, which is not me putting clothes on tiny stuffed animals. I'm so sorry. I'm sure that was great entertainment for everybody. So
And I know he enjoyed that one, but I think he'll really enjoy this one. And Katie did a lot of research to figure out what kinds of advent calendars are out there. And if you have kids and you want to get them an advent calendar, she found them at every level.
Mhm.
And I think the one that she's excited about, she needs James to get a little older because there's one, I want to say from National Geographic, that is daily experiments to do with your kids.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun. Katie just wants to watch me do science experiments on video.
You know what? That's where you trade off who is handling the camera, and you get to do the opening, and dad gets to do the experiment.
Perfect. And then one of
Oh,
us will have to wrangle the other kid.
sorry. My cats are trying to like fight with each other. I don't know if you saw Pia sit up here and growl, but the other cat came to get her. Sorry. They're just taunting each other.
Oh man, I my unboxing videos are going to just become longer and longer because I'm going to have two children. We'll see how that goes next year. Next year's unboxings might be a little bit interesting. Maybe dad will hold the baby while I unbox things with James.
There you go.
And we'll hand the baby some paper. Because I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Katie researched whether or not there are any good under one advent calendars. But
I don't
probably the baby would be just as happy with some shiny paper. I know James was.
I don't know what all she found, but I know she had a good time looking through and finding things. The other thing when we started talking about it and looking for it is that I found highlights and wait, what are the ones called? Hijinks?
They're high fives, I think
High
is what.
five. Okay. So we signed James up for the magazine. We had meant to do it in the summer when his birthday was, and just we have kind of a crazy summertime. Bad excuse. But so James is getting his own mail now.
And he's very excited about it. That boy loves going to the mailbox and getting mail. And luckily, he's small enough right now where we can just tell him that junk mail is mail for him. But anytime he gets actual mail, it's a very exciting day.
I used to do a lot of exchanges when Katie was little, and it was always exciting for her to see the packages up there, but then she would be disappointed that she didn't have the pretty package wasn't for her. So I had
Yeah.
one fabulous um exchange partner who figured that out and started sending packages to Katie too.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and she would often in my package just include some things for both of the kids, and it was really sweet.
Oh, that's nice. It's always nice when somebody thinks of your kids.
When they're like we were partners over Christmas, so we have some Christmas decorations with each of the kids' names on them. And
Oh,
she
fun.
made this really sweet banner. Um, it says something like, "Dear Santa, please don't believe everything you hear. We've been especially good this year." And it's from my two kids.
Mhm.
It's very cute.
That is so cute. So, what did you do after Thanksgiving? You said that Thanksgiving was the quieter of the days.
Well, we just had a lot of running around to do. We were supposed to get massages on Friday, and that didn't work out. So instead, we went and had our nails done, which we always talk about, and we just never make the time to go do it. So mine are a purple ombre. It's probably easier this way. A purple ombre with one sparkly nail.
Very
And
pretty.
Katie's are pretty, she's got kind of a burgundy and she has one rose gold nail.
Ooh, nice.
So I couldn't decide on a color, and Katie's like, just get all of these. So it was
Very
kind of
fun.
fun. And we did get to go pick up framing. Oh, I don't have it right here. If I did, I would show you. But I picked up framing, so I'll show you next time in our regular floss tube. And that's exciting because it's my piece. And really, we want to get it on the wall
Mhm.
for the whole winter season. Came back at the perfect time. Um, we rearranged the living room some, and I have been going through all of my cross stitch. What I have discovered is that, yeah, I have a lot of whips. My whips are at 150-ish, but I have more supplies than I have whips.
Oh, wow.
So we've ordered some organization, which was supposed to be here. I want to say it was supposed to come Tuesday, and Katie got a notification on Tuesday that they had canceled the order.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I had already started gathering things and pulling them in to get them all sorted. And we ordered new stuff for me, which will probably fit better, but it won't be here until sometime this coming week. And then
Hmm.
it'll have to be put together. So that's kind of a pain, just, because everything is in big tubs here. Um,
Right.
and we had 2 black needle chats. We had one on Friday from 6 p.m. to midnight, and then one Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4. We were going to go to the movies last night, but we were a little concerned about the weather and not knowing whether it would settle down or whether it would dump. And we were going to be at a theater that's about 20 or 30 minutes from our house. So we didn't really want to get stuck.
Right. For sure.
And we've just been busy running around doing things, getting things done. I took Katie to an appointment, and we
Mhm.
we've just, yeah, done a lot of
And
running.
doing stuff. Yeah. Um, we take advantage of the offer. My mother-in-law has decided that, well, last year we went on a date on Black Friday. And so now she's just decided that her and my father-in-law are going to keep the kids on Black Friday, and the parents can go do whatever they want. They can go have a date, they can go shopping, they can go do whatever, basically. So we were going to shop, but then we didn't end up doing that because we didn't leave early enough. So we went on a date, and we went to, oh, this was maybe one of the most disappointing parts of the weekend. We went to this movie theater that we really enjoy. We've been there several times. And we were going to see The Marvels, which was a fine movie. But we were in this theater that was called the Recline and Dine Theater. So like one of those ones where they'll bring you food.
Yeah.
And we'd had breakfast, but we hadn't eaten lunch. And whenever we left, my mother-in-law had made lunch for the kids. And I was like, oh, that smells so good. I'm so excited to go eat. We had looked at the menu and all this other kind of stuff. Well, we sit down, and most of the places that we've been, they have places where you can like write down what you want, and then you can hit a call button and they'll come to you. This theater did not have that. The server came over before them, like right as we sat down, and said, "Are you guys going to want food, or are you just here to see the movie?" And we said, "Oh, we want food, but we need like just a minute, you know." She never came back.
Oh,
And so we like didn't even stop at the concession stand. We have no drinks. We have no popcorn. I We had talked about getting French fries, and the a couple next to us uh were had French fries, and they looked so good. They looked so good. And So yeah, luckily the Marvels is not a very long movie. It's only about an hour and a half. Uh, but the couple next to us left a little bit early because we stayed through the whole credits. And the woman had like swung her tray out so that it was closer to me. And I just leaned next to Timothy and I was like, I cannot smell these French fries. I will get very sick. Just
Oh
because I
no.
hadn't eaten. And so then after we saw the movie, we had picked out a place to go eat dinner. And whenever we got there, he's like, well, what do you want? And I said, we can decide that later. First, we need to pick what appetizer we're going to have because I'm not going to make it much longer. So we ended up, because we were trying to think of a place that we could go where like we usually won't take James, you know?
Mhm.
We actually went to this sushi and ramen restaurant and just got a whole bunch of sushi, which we only got cooked sushi because I cannot have the raw stuff right now. It was so good. It was delicious. And I don't know how much of that was, my hunger or what, but it was really, really good. And then after that, we went to this little bar in downtown Des Moines that was having a Christmas pop up. And they had a lot of interesting looking drinks. And they had two non alcoholic drinks on the menu. So I had both of those. One was a very good punch, and one they said was a tea old fashioned, but it was just some tea with sugar syrup in it.
Oh man.
So it was the most expensive sweet tea I've ever paid for, but that's okay. It was a really nice night out. And then other than that, we just kind of spent a whole bunch of time with family and got to watch my kid play with his cousins, and they had a really good time. My in-laws have a finished basement that they have a bunch of have like a bed that's a trundle bed, and then they have an extra mattress, and so all three kids slept downstairs. And James did really well. I was very proud of him.
Fun.
I thought he was going to come upstairs halfway through the night and join us in our bed, but he didn't. And
If
then he
you
didn't.
needed to shop, you needed to be on the BNS chat because both times people were shopping Black Friday deals. And of course, we would all get curious and they would tell us what they were shopping for. And
Mhm.
so people were going on. There was a lot of money spent during the chats,
Oh, I'm sure.
as well as a long list of books to read. And I mean, just all the fun things that happened during chat. They were a lovely group both times. We really had fun with them. So, and
That's
there was a lot of discussion about the fact that they can't wait for next Saturday's book club.
Oh, good. Yeah, I've seen that people seem to really be enjoying that book.
So if you haven't joined the BNS book club, it's called Books with BNS. It's a
Mhm.
Facebook group. And the book we're reading right now is, you say the title.
Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers.
And Keisha is hosting this time.
Yes,
And it'll be next Saturday, which I know is when the Jingle Ball is. It's only an hour and a half. And
Mhm.
it starts at, I want to say 4. Is that right?
Yeah,
4 to 5:30?
starts pretty early. I will look real quick just to make sure that I tell you the right thing. But it's a really fun group. We've only had one discussion so far. Um, and it was nice just to sit and chat about books. So it's at 4 o'clock. And no worries if you haven't read it yet. It's like 10 hours on Audible. So just listen to it a couple hours a day. You'll be there.
Yeah. And it's a fun narrator. That's how I read the book. And
Mhm.
I really enjoyed the narrator, and it was just kind of a pleasant read to go through.
Yeah, it seems like most people have just been having fun with it because it's, you know, it's more of a cozy mystery kind of feel. It's not too heavy or anything like that. I was hoping to find um well, everyone voted on the books, but I got to make my picks for people to vote on, and I was hoping that it'd be something that was just kind of fun.
Mhm. So I'm looking forward to that. I know Katie has signed up for a class during the Jingle Balls, so we'll be doing that next weekend.
Ooh, fun.
And I just have things I need to get done.
Mhm.
But the big thing is that Jeff is coming home tomorrow. So we're trying to
That's
make
nice.
sure that we get everything finished up and um squared away around here so that it's easy for him to get in and out. Um and of course things are complicated by the not having the um storage things.
Right.
So it won't be quite all the way done, but it'll be as much as we can have done.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you're excited to have him back.
Yeah, and he's really excited. So my husband had a fall and was in the hospital and has been in rehab. So he's been gone a little over a month. Maybe about 6 weeks. And it's just been a long time. And they have pushed him hard over the last couple of days because one thing that he has to do is walk up a dozen steps.
No, yeah, that's a big deal.
So they had not really worked on that. And we were a little panicked that they were sending him home when he hadn't met that step goal. But
Right,
they've
because you
been,
have steps to get into your house.
yes. And now, of course, it's snowed, and that'll be lovely for him to have to try and come up the steps in the snow as well.
Right.
So if it had waited one more day, we might have been home from school. If it had waited to snow one more day,
Right.
we might have been home from school. But, and then I'd have been here to be an extra person to help get him in
Mhm.
because it will be Katie. So think
Yeah.
all the good thoughts for Katie. We did end up on Black Friday. Bree had had problems with her phone and had a really, they had put a third party screen on her phone without asking her. And her old phone was an iPhone, and they don't play nice with things that are not Apple products. So
Mhm.
she took the phone back and said, hey, there's something wrong with the screen. And they said, oh, it's a third party screen. It's going to cost you 300, like $360 to get it replaced. It was at one of the U Break We Fix
Right.
places. Um, we did not like that. And Katie said, so Bree had said, oh, I'm going to have to wait till my next payday. I'm going to have to go in and get it done then. And Katie suggested that we just go to the AT&T store,
Mhm.
which we did. And for not much more, because her phone is new enough, she was able to get a brand new phone.
Oh, nice.
But at the same time, Katie and I, who have been doing fine with our phones, ended up getting talked into new phones as well.
Ah, yep.
So our phones will be delivered tomorrow, and someone has to be here to accept delivery.
Mhm.
So it could be a really interesting day. I'm sure they will try to deliver when Katie is gone to pick Jeff up.
Yeah, that's always the way, right? Oh, I was really worried because I got a package while I was gone. And we have you can open up our screen door and there's a place to put things. But I was so worried that they were going to not put it inside the door and it was going to be covered in snow. But they put it inside. So, which is good because there were some things that could have been pretty ruined in there. My mom signed me up. Usually uh for like Christmas, she just re-signs me up for this subscription box through this store that she really likes to go to. And it's called the Glam Shack. It's in Sedalia if you're interested. And she sends just a bunch of lifestyle items. And my mom signed me up for quarterly because she figured that that would be around Christmas, around my anniversary, around my birthday, So the timing all works out. And she's friends with the owner of the shop. And she asked the owner to slip in a little something for the baby. And so I don't have it in here with me, but it's a little pacifier that has a stuffed animal attached to it. And the stuffed animal is a little green dinosaur. And then I looked at the back of it and it's James the dinosaur.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So I was showing it to James because he always wants to get all up in anything that I get. And of course he wanted it because it's a little stuffed dinosaur. How could you not want that? And I had to explain to him that it's for baby brother. And I asked him if he wanted to give it to baby brother as a present when baby brother gets here. And he said that that would be fine. So that avoided the meltdown and him stealing it and taking it into his room. Because he's an only child. So his brain goes, there is a toy in the house. It is my toy.
There's a needle minder in the house. It is mine.
That's my stick, obviously. I would like this, and now it is mine. Which has been okay, an okay way to operate for the past little bit, but you will have to change. Coming up in my week, tomorrow is officially halfway to the baby. So I'll be 20 weeks tomorrow. Unless the baby comes early or comes late, but 20 weeks. And so I have the big anatomy scan this week.
Fun.
Go and see the ultrasound and see him moving around. And I'm sure he'll be moving a bunch because I've started feeling him kick and he is all over the place all the time. So sure, it'll be an interesting ultrasound.
And also, this week will be Stitch night at the office. That'll be fun.
Yes, for sure.
We always like to do that.
Mm-hmm. And then I have my office holiday party on the 1st. So got a lot of things going on.
You're going to be busy.
I'd be so busy. Got holiday party on the 1st, book club on the 2nd, and then James has a little Christmas program on the 4th. So we're moving right into Christmas. We're going to be all Christmas.
I will have, I think it's, I have to think about this. 1, 8, 15. I will have 3 weeks and just like 3.5 weeks. I think the next week, Wednesday will be a half day.
Oh, nice.
And then it'll be winter break. So 2 weeks out of school.
That'll be so good.
They've changed our calendar this year. And when we go back, we'll actually have a work day. So this week, the kids were out all week, but we went Monday and Tuesday. Monday was PD and Tuesday was a work day. So the teacher that I work with, we had a certification we needed to do for testing that will be coming up after the new year. So we were able to do that and take our time, and we planned and got up and walked in between every session.
Oh, nice.
Because you get stuck in your chair and you just, I don't know about you, but we just can't do it.
Oh, see, I can sit in a chair for a long time, but I don't know. It seems like with each passing year, is the stiffer I am whenever I get up out of that chair. And I did really appreciate my in-laws recliners that have lumbar support this past weekend. So, are you getting
Sorry,
to
I
a
was
good?
counting.
Ah,
Um, the I think the thing with us is that we switch classes every 30 to 50 minutes.
mm,
And so to be stuck in a spot, to have to sit there for so long is just a hard thing. We're not used to that. We get up,
right.
go for
Probably
a
makes
walk,
the day
get some more water, all the things.
right.
So,
Do you think
I
you're
would
out to a good stopping point?
I would like to do just a few more rows so that I get to the top, but it's pretty close. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna have to count every time. It will be probably less than 20 stitches.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that we can talk for 20 more stitches.
Have you decided what you're doing in December? Are you going to do the 12 days of stitching with Katie and I?
I do plan on stitching on Christmas projects. I need to figure out how I'm going to incorporate the number 12 into my winter stitching, though. I've still got to think about that. Um,
I'm not doing 12 projects. Well, really, probably I will, but I have 3 or 4 projects that are so close to a finish that I'm going to try to put um 12 hours per weekend. So that would be the first, the 8th. These are Fridays, the first, the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd
mhm.
for 4 projects. I think I can get 12 hours in over a weekend pretty easily and have some finishes. I have a
Okay.
project that I want to be finished.
Mhm.
So,
I have a lot of Christmas ones that I'd like to pick up. I
mhm.
have a few that are close-ish to finishes. So that could be good to work on. I've been resisting the urge to start something new, but I might start something new today because we found I have some cute little mill hill ornament that is bells, and James got really excited when he saw it. Um, so I may start that, but I'm trying to keep myself from starting things because I know that coming up in my box, I'm going to have some things to start. Uh, so I'm trying not to start a whole lot of stuff because I may want to start things that are in the box.
I
So,
think you get the first project pretty early in the box. I mean,
right.
that's not a big secret. You always get
No.
them about the same place. So
Yeah, they're
we
usually
try and,
spaced out pretty well.
yeah, we try and give you one in the first week.
So we'll have to see. I may, depending on what the project is, I may start that whenever I get it. So we shall see.
I think I have one more set. Then I need to just double count both the pattern and then the piece and make sure I've
Mm.
gone to the right place here.
Yeah. I do think that we'll have to adjust the timing of our filming. Usually we film our un our unboxings, our openings, in the morning before James goes to daycare. But I have a feeling with what the presents are that
For
we may want to
James. For
for James
James. Yeah.
and also for me that we may want to play with things immediately. So, um, so we may have to do it once I get home from work. Do our vlogs. So I did think about getting my husband an advent box, but then we would have had to figure out how we could all three be on video. So maybe that's a goal for next year to figure out how we could just all open things together.
You just need you film on your phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need a ring light
Yeah.
because
And
you can
then,
get one with a camera holder right in the middle.
oh yeah, that's true. And then
Okay,
we could all.
I got to the corner. So
Ooh.
I was down here wherever I was and went
Mhm.
all the way up. I even had to reload. And yes, I think I am right. Right across where the H is, right below the numbers. That's where I started. And I think they're absolutely
Yeah.
the same. I think it was two.
Yeah. I think you're right.
But this is the top. So I'll probably just
Nice.
leave that there and go back to my alphabets and make sure. I just want to make
That
sure that I really get there. But that's exciting. I'm only, so here it is. I'm only
Mhm.
this far from the top.
Yeah, that's really exciting. That's not far at all.
No, this row that I've started, I keep getting it below. This row is the last row I will get through the letter A. I stitch right to left.
Mhm.
Um, so I will get to the letter A over here, and then I'll bump up and I have 3 rows of the big alphabet at the top.
Wow.
That's it.
Moving just right along.
And all the little, there are tons of little leaves and some acorns, and then they just put the random stitches, which
Oh,
here's the
yeah.
back of my piece.
Mhm.
You can see I have all these little random things that I had to get in. And, like most of them are 2 colors
Mhm.
in a little thing
It's
of 5 stitches. So, yes.
always fun. But they do make things look better. So as much as we like to complain about them, this one has a bunch of the like 4 diamonds in it, which of course make it look really great. But I'm gonna go in and add those in at the end of this, I think. So I got some pretty good progress. I
Ooh,
finished this. I did the white stripes here, I did the green, and then I have started with the red. So
I don't know that I realized that there was green in the stripes.
yeah, it's kind of one of those you have to look. You
Yeah,
don't
I
really
don't
know
think
what.
I saw it when you've held up the picture before. So, and now
Yep.
that you hold it up, I absolutely see it. So,
Right. But yeah, whenever I hold it back here, you don't really see
mm-mm.
you have to get kind of up on it. But yeah, so that's where I am. And I don't think I mentioned I'm doing a floss conversion on this with colored cotton. Because
Mhm.
there's one called Nice List and one called Naughty List. So of course I did. So
And my autumn alphabet is um I'll have all the information down below. I don't know if I knew what fabric this was. I love it. It's kind of a dirty linen, which
mhm.
is perfect for this. And
Yeah,
then
for sure.
it used all DMC except for 2 silken colors.
Okay, fun.
So it's a
All
fun
right.
one to stitch. I like it.
Mhm. Well, do you think we rambled enough about our weeks?
Oh, I think so. And thank goodness the shenanigans with the cats settled down and we didn't have any more. So,
Great. Well, I guess all that's left to say is bye, guys.
bye.
Have a good week.